Is our legal affairs correspondent. Mutala, good morning.
Good morning, Francis.
Trust you're well.
Great, yourself.
I'm also doing
Nice.
well.
It's good to see you.
Same here,
Thursday
brother.
morning.
Yes.
Yes, I'm a Thursday morning, so today
Oh,
I'm
really?
so excited.
Yao.
I feel-
Okay.
yeah, Brian.
Mutala Yaunusa. Brian. Okay. All right. First off, I mean, we've seen the report that came through yesterday from the
Yes.
courts, but there are many who are asking that question. Could all that we saw yesterday relative to structure, quality, language, content of the documents that were filed, affidavits and motions, could all this have been sorted without the spectacle?
I didn't get your point.
Yeah, you won't get it.
No, I didn't get it.
You clearly won't get it. It's
I
fine.
didn't-
So now that they've been asked to file fresh motions and affidavits,
Absolutely.
it means the next sitting will be when?
So it is not clear. What we are told is that, what we're told is that it's indefinite, sunny day. So as we speak, there's no specific timelines or dates that has been fixed for the return dates. But what is clear is that in the language of the Supreme Court, when they say the case is adjourned sunny day, it means that things could work so quickly that tomorrow it will be listed. So even though it is indefinite, it could be listed at any particular point in time. I won't be surprised that in the next court list that you see, the Supreme Court court list for the next week normally comes out on Fridays. So before you realize it will be listed. But if you look at the timelines that were given to the parties, Richard Sky and his lawyers had to file by the 17th of May. The respondents, the AG and then the speaker will have 7 days after to also file whatever processes they intend to file. So that will take you to somewhere 24th of May. That is if they decide to exhaust all the timelines that have been given to them. It means any time we'll have a date fixed for hearing will be after 24th of May. But of course, yesterday, what happened. The lawyers, especially for the plaintiff, requested for opportunity to amend and then to file some supplementary. Thaddeus Sorry especially look at the situation, or it will make the whole process look so in a way, so better still, file fresh motions, papers supporting affidavit and statement of case, and that will make this the document or the process is much more cleaner and straightforward. And the judges, 5 of them, agreed that yes, file fresh processes.
So who are the 5 justices?
So Justice Maria, the CJ, of course, is
Gertrude
the
Arabisa
absolutely,
Abatokono.
absolutely. And I am going to give you the panel as by way of the majority, how they see in terms of seniority at the bar,
At the bench.
At the bench. I must beg your pardon. How they all sat through this very case yesterday and dealt with. So the Chief Justice, by virtue of the fact that she is the Chief Justice, she was the head. So she chaired the panel. Then we have Justice Mariama Owusu, the judge who dealt with the Major Mahama case. Yes, she is also a member of the panel. Then Justice Professor Henry Mensambonsu, also a member of the panel. Then Justice Enes Gawu, Justice Enes Gawu, yes, he's also one of them. And then Justice Yao Dakwasari is one of the new justices who were appointed. The last 3 that were appointed recently is one of them. So these were the 3 judges, the 5 judges who sat on the matter, and they were being chaired by the Chief Justice who deal with this very matter.
I see. Okay. So let's see how things go. The affidavits that will be the motions and documents and support, everything.
And a lot of spotlight was on Richard Sky, but of course, Dr. Amanda Odoy also was in court. The lawyers made their points, and of course, eventually the court had to adjourn the case in a day also because lawyers of the speaker indicated they want to file certain process to be allowed time, and that is where the issue of interpret language came out. The court was of the considered view that if you look at the depositions, the wording of what was stated, it clearly not the one that is fit for the legal setting. So they have to look at it to redraw and then refile again, and so they have up to the court said that they can do that within 7 days. So 7 days they will have to file, and the court to fix a date again for hearing. So what is clear is that these 2 cases will always be heard at the same day and the same period.
Okay. There was another matter that we were expecting a ruling on, and that was also deferred indefinitely on the celebrities and the matter of
Yes.
alcoholic advertisements.
So yesterday, just before the court sits, or the court was even sitting for the first time, the Supreme Court sitting begins at 9:30, but yesterday delayed a bit because of how new turn of events. The television bit, it has to be broadcasted for everybody to see, so it took a little bit of, and just before the panel came in, the assistant registrar informed the parties that he has the instruction of the panel to adjourn that particular case, but no date was, as it were, assigned. What they were told was that a hearing notice will be issued and the parties will be communicated to as to when next the Supreme Court will deliver that judgment. And it is about the third time that that judgment has to be deferred. The first time it was supposed to have been delivered on May 10. Then it was adjourned to April 10, I beg your pardon. Then April 24. Then now we have another moment where we're being told that it's been adjourned indefinitely because a date will now be fixed and the parties will be communicated to.
But why is this happening?
There's no clear reasons attached to whatever was said, but if I'm inferring to what has happened, look at the workload of what happened yesterday. Yesterday, as at the time that I was leaving the Supreme Court, as around 3:30, the panel was still sitting, and the judiciary will have to close at 4. So you notice that the anti-gay bill took a lot of time yesterday. There were other cases. In fact, Mahama Yariga also has a case against the Attorney General. That one was also adjourned. There were other cases that were supposed to have come on. They were also adjourned because of the timeline, the fact that the anti-gay bill took precedence or priority. They placed much more importance on those cases, and so some other cases that can wait, they decided that they have to adjourn them sine die.
I see. Okay, so to what's going to happen in court today? The matter of James Jachikwesi?
Yes. Yesterday, James Jachikwesi and his lawyers, when I say his lawyers, he himself was not present. We are at the Supreme Court. You notice that one of the issues that they are challenging is the fact that along the line, in the course of the trial at the High Court, prosecution has called the former director of passports who is giving evidence, and one of the things that he standard was Jachikwesi's application for passports, and so they have tendered that document. What was tendered was a photocopy of it. Lawyers wanted the original one so that they can compare to. The court is saying that no, you can do that. You can subject him to cross-examination when you have your moment. But Chachu, the lawyers were of the considered view that if the original one, if you are dealing with a case of this nature, it means we need the original one to compare with the photocopy. And the judge said, no, let's move on. So yesterday, they were at the Supreme Court with an application for certiorari to quash that ruling for the court, by court admitting that particular document, and also to prohibit the judge from continuing to sit on the case. But the panel looked at the situation and said, look, the Justice Marienzo has done nothing wrong. She should go, so they have to go back. So that request was dismissed yesterday. So today, they are back at the High Court hoping that the cross-examination of the fourth prosecution witness, with the director of passports, will come on today.
All right, that's for the matter of James Jachikwesi. How about the ambulance case as well?
Yes. So today, at the last, that was on, today is Thursday. So this case came on Tuesday. Lawyers of Richard Japa filed their witness statements, and the parties were served. So Dr. Aziz Bamba, who is representing Dr. Kasiel Atuforsin, requested for time to be able to look at the witness statement again. So they adjourned it today. But what was clear was that Justice Efia Sewa Saribojo is looking at the situation and said, look, where we are now, it is left for the third accused person who will continue with evidence and have its witnesses testify. This trash, by way of adducing the evidence, should not go beyond this legal year. And then the legal year will end on the 31st of July. It shouldn't go, at least if for anything at all, the trial party should end evidence by the end of the legal year. Then the court can deliver a judgment after the legal year, or if possible, the court can even conclude the case before they go on the legal year. The judge had earlier predicted May 3rd because of how things were happening initially, and until such time that the second accused person, Dr. Sylvester Nemana was discharged because the AG filed a nolle prosequa, and then Mr. Richard Jakpa, the businessman, also fired his lawyer and has to hire a new lawyer, and so the new lawyer asked for time to be able to peruse the document as they are, and also look for their witnesses who will come to court and testify. So all those moments took some time out, but what is clear is that today they are hoping that Mr. Richard Jakpa will come, continue with evidence in chief, will be subjected to cross-examination by the Attorney General. He will call his witnesses, and whatever being the case, when he's done, the trial will close, and Justice Ifeanyi Saribuchi, a justice of the Court of Appeal, sitting with additional responsibility as a High Court judge, will have the honors to make further direction or orders in relation to the matter. So today, the minority leader is expected in court.
Okay. I remember, I think on Tuesday, we talked about the Madam Adabla matter.
Yes.
What became of it?
So Adabla and the lawyers are subjecting the investigator who handled. You notice that at a point in time, the court issued a court bailiff and an order that the vehicle at the center of the whole this will matter be
the Honda Civic, the white one.
You like that vehicle?
Yeah. We have taken note of it. So that's like how the court has taken notice. Yeah.
Take judicial notice of it. Okay. So the court sent officers, bailiff, and then some security police officers to go there. But then something dramatic happened, and we saw Adabla post that on her IG page, and it even became a subject matter of contempt because the court said none of the parties should post anything on social media or traditional media. Then, under the cross-examination of the investigation, it came to bear that at the time that the police officers and the bailiff went to the home of Madame Adabla was not the time that was required within law. They went after 6 p.m. So going to somebody's home to go and serve document on the person after 6 p.m., it doesn't sit well with us. So that it came to bear that apparently the officers went there to the extent that the investigator is saying that they have tried to get the bailiff at the center of this one to come and even give a statement. Much after they have tried, they couldn't get him to come. So it's clear that they did a shoddy job. It's clear that they were influenced by somebody, which the lawyers of Mr. Nimakun raised objection to. As we speak, it has been adjourned to the 11th of June, and on the 11th of June, the lawyers of Mr. Nimakun will subject the investigator to cross-examination because he is a court witness. If anybody is subpoenaed, if the court issue a subpoena, grant a subpoena for you to come, it means that initially you are not willing to come, and at some point you become a court witness. So it is the court who is inviting you. So now the parties will have the opportunity to cross-examine you. So on the 11th of June, that will happen. But then again, the lawyers have said that they want officers of the anti-terrorism unit because they played a part in this one, and there were certain questions that the current investigator couldn't answer. So they want their terrorism unit to come and answer that question. So on the June 11th, before Justice John Bosco Nabarese, that case will come up again.
Or could you tell Black West impersonators?
So, fresh charges or fresh charge sheet is on its way coming because we've been told that the two individual further investigations have been done, extensive investigations have been done, and it came out that they did not only or Okujeto Ablakwa is not the only victim that those two accused persons have, as it were, defrauded. And so Hannah Bisu, the national women organizer of the NDC, it came out that she's also a victim. Then Thomas Ampemdaku, member of parliament for Esujaman, his name has always been mentioned. So prosecution is saying that they need time to put their house in order for them to file a fresh charge sheet, which will bring to bear or which will incorporate this new development that have come out. So on the 3rd of June, the court will sit, Justice Lydia Osemafo will sit, and then we hope that the prosecution will file their new charge sheet that they indicated to the court that they will be filed.
All right. Thank you, Murtala Inusa, for the updates relative to what's going to happen in court today and also the details for what's already happened in our court of law on these very respective issues. Let's now speak to the Director of European Studies at the University